Coach Vincent Collet told us a lot about the Spanish school of basketball and culture of basketball. Can you tell us about this culture and what part it takes in what you achieved so far in the tournament?
Well, this is something which comes pretty deep back. We started a new program 5 or 6 years ago, trying to create a structure, kind of a pyramid, where kids start doing several things from the very beginning, which they will keep doing the next stage, adding something new, but everything in the same line, following a path which is bringing them basically from U15 when they come off the U14-15, when they start going to the U16, which is the first European Championship, to the U18, to U20, even U22. We have a national team which is taking care of these kids, which goes off the under 20, but they are not ready to play with the main team yet. The system is the same. The way we practice is the same. The way we behave is the same. We have many common things, of course. Let's say in a progressive way. Taking in consideration the age of the kids, right? And this happened after a few years to produce players who are, let's say, a little bit more prepared to stick together and to be part of a team, cohesive, where selfishness is basically never there, where people like to share the ball with, where they know how to do it, which they know already many of the concepts we will run with the main team. So it's a kind of a progression which took a lot of job, a lot of work, many hours, days, weeks, but obviously it's producing this kind of a feeling, as Coach Collet said, of a school, of a culture, where everybody are in the same, going the same direction and being on the same page.
Coach, it seems like you and Coach Gil have the offense and he has the defense. Every time there is something happening on court, you're on court side. Every time Spain attacks, and he's every time Spain defends. How is this working? Can you guide us?
Tell the referees, because they say that sometimes we are the both of us together standing up, but it's because one is, yeah.
How is this working?
No, the thing is, I mean, of course, we have a different text within our coaching staff, but Luis is helping me to save basically voice and concentration, because he's basically calling to the players what's going on the floor, trying to preventing them from falling into the opponent traps or knowing what the opponent is going to do. So he's basically a loudspeaker, right? And he's a big part of our coaching staff. I mean, he's a great coach, and we build up the strategy together. And then he's the one who's in charge of being loud on the sideline and to, try to make players aware of what's happening or even what's gonna happen on the floor.
Coach, after that long journey, would you say, and would you agree if someone would say that for this specific team, the biggest blessing was the fact that for the first time, this group of players felt doubt from the fans, from the society, from the community, from the European basketball community? I mean, you are in the final. Would you say now that the biggest advantage that this team has that was the fact that somebody doubted what this team?
But listen, when we won the World Championship, all the predictions were that we were the 15. Everybody was saying Spain 15. Somebody also said back then the biggest possible disappointment is going to be Spain. And honestly, this is up to expectations. I mean, if you have let's say, 8 level expectation and you make 8, you fulfill expectation. If you make 10, you go over. If you make 6, you go under. So I wouldn't talk about doubting, but in this case specific of this year, I think you have to understand that when there are 8 players who never played at this level, when you have so many players who never play EuroLeague or not even talk about NBA, it's reasonable and acceptable that they might put you at the 8 or 9 place in the predictions, right, like they did. So we don't have to feel offended from this. We should feel offended if somebody would doubt about our work ethic, about our identity, our capacity to show on the floor that we are a team who plays together, who help, in which players help the teammate who's in trouble, who's sharing the ball, we're passing the ball to the other guy, we're playing as a team with a good idea. I mean, that should be the insulting doubt, not the fact, not the talent. I mean, we know what's our size, we know what's our history in our players so far. Well, that doesn't mean that we cannot make a winning unit. When things get together, as you might see in other teams probably which are more talented than us, who are not here now, that what counts in basketball, and sometimes miracles happen, right? That the collective factors prevail above the individual talent. This has happened in many sports. It's not the first time that it happened.
As one coach, can you talk about Rudy Fernandez? How important he is for you on and off the court, especially with a young and new team?
Oh, he's a big captain, big leader. He's vocal. He's leading by example. He's showing what it takes to be an ultimate winner, withstanding pain, doing efforts on a loose ball, diving on the floor like probably an 18 years old kid wouldn't do. I mean, it's a really joy to have him into the team. I mean, I'm so happy about him, and he's so happy about himself, finding himself in this different role. He was always one of the very strongest point of the team on the floor, but kind of in the spotlight, there were other players, right? When we had all that big generation of those players. And now he's finally in the spotlight. He's deserving it because he's really acting as a leader on and on the floor, and I am happy for him about this.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.